Some say the Earth is one giant spaceship hurling through the cosmos. Others say the Earth is flat, which would make it even more like the fabled flying saucers to be seen pestering the volcanoes of Mexico, the military bases of Nevada, the cornfields of England. Of course, to see the Earth as such an object, you would have to be in a spacecraft yourself, and therefore far above the central European city of Prague, where our story is set in the year 2002. Charmingly referred to as the City of 1,000 Spires, it is also the City of 1,000 dingy apartments, where tempers sometimes flare.
You can count backwards from 1,000 spires for all I care.
Penelope, I only asked for you to go for a little while.
But Jan, we came to Prague so you could study Egyptology.
Shh, don't waking the baby. I know how you feel, Goldie. I don't like either New Orleans, especially during the Mardi Gras. But this Egyptian discovery is the opportunity we were waiting for.
New Orleans is a place you hate to leave, and you hate to go back to.
Is it something about your father?
Don't mention my father.
We've delayed this off long enough. Your father dying with those strange circumstances that you
There is nothing strange about a swamp fire. The roots are wet and the water is wet, but the trees are dry. The top of them are.
Did your father... Sakra.
I'm not going back to New Orleans.
Wait.
You woke the baby.
I have to go now.
What?
Professor Tvrdskrit wants to discuss this major finding.
On Saturday?
Where is my Egyptian Book of the Dead?
It's in the baby crib.
Uh-huh. And where is my map of New Orleans? It was right here.
Lost, I guess.
I'm sorry, you dear. I go now.
Yeah, we delay things off when you want to.
Ciao.
Who the... Moment! Mother? What are you...
Aren't you happy to see me? Where you at? Where's my grandchild? There we are. There's the baby. Who dat? How are you? Yes.
Of course I'm happy to see you. It's just, how did you get in the building?
Some nerdy creep held the door open.
That was Jan.
Jan? Oh, that's right, Jan. What kind of name is that anyway? Is that a nickname because he's boring? Jan.
You haven't even met him and already...
Oh, come on, laugh. Ha ha. Yes, so big, aren't you? Aren't you? I brought some beads. They put beads on me in the nursery.
I know, I remember the photos, but they don't celebrate Mardi Gras here, I don't think.
Oh, sure they do. They just don't know it. You call this a baby crib?
It was Jan's when he was a baby.
Yeah, but wasn't his father a torturer for the KGB?
It wasn't called the KGB here and...
Yes! So big! Aren't you? Aren't you? Who dat?
So, what? It's such a surprise you being here.
I saw your cousin Louise last week. She says hello.
How is she? How is Dwayne?
Fine. Fine.
And little Bassie and Mary and Teddy and, damn.
Dana and Hugo. Fine. Only one of you, though. Yes!
So, Mother, what made you come to Prague all of a sudden?
Penelope, I have come to bring you back to New Orleans.
The streets of Prague are known for all sorts of unidentified objects which pedestrians take pains to step around as they make their way down the busy sidewalk.
Do you think it's like, you know, the golem or something?
No, I don't believe in the golem. You think we are a country of bumpkins?
Then what do you think it is? Nazi treasure?
Sweet. Exactly, I think it's what they think. It's an Egyptian sarcophagus under the water of a New Orleans bayou.
That's weird. If I had a newspaper, I would write an article about that.
I didn't call for you to broadcast it. I need to go to the United States fast, before anyone else can find it.
That'll be difficult and expensive.
And removing the dead whore out of your apartment was cheap and easy. You think so?
Shh. She wasn't a prostitute. She wasn't a she, actually. Okay, 2 weeks. I could probably do it in 2 weeks.
Did the dead whore stay for 2 weeks?
Ever since 9/11, it takes longer. I mean, really long. And all the wars. What's the rush? Did it get uncovered by a hurricane or something?
Which one, sorry? Hurricane?
Some hurricane, I don't know. Crazy weather all over. Floods all over Central Europe here.
There wasn't some hurricane. It was discovered by 2 of my friends which were holidaying in New Orleans.
Were they hunting nutria?
Which ones, sorry?
There are these giant rat or gerbil beavers, amphibious, imported to Louisiana from Europe because they ate the kudzu plants that were choking out the swamps. But then, you see, they overran the place, and now there are so many that hunting is rewarded. And some people think it was a French attack on the U.S., and that the nutria were genetically modified and trained to destroy...
No, they were not hunting, but snorkeling. What? Yes, they were snorkeling in the swamps. They wouldn't see anything. And, you know, it's really dangerous. Crocodiles are known to be frequent there. But one kept watching, while the other was swimming around in some silt. And then, in the middle of the lagoon. Is that how you say it, lagoon?
Yeah, lagoon.
Is it French?
I don't know. I know nutria is.
Look, here are photos my friends were making underwater.
Yeah, that looks like a sarcophagus, I guess. Do you think it's empty?
I doubt that it is full. Of a mummy, if that's what you mean.
Well, how did it get there? You know, they found a human hair inside one of the stone building blocks of the Great Pyramids?
There are many incomprehensible mysteries in this world, especially between mother and daughter.
I won't have you come here and tell me I have to go back to New Orleans.
I don't know what point you're making by breaking your own furniture.
Most of it's Jan's and I hate it.
You can't live on the ceiling.
Ah!
When you were a child, you never used to quit asking about your father. And I'd always tell you.
Here's $1, go eat a beignet.
And now I try to tell you one little thing and you fly into a rage.
Why now all of a sudden? You never talked about it and now...
I don't know. It's just you're leaving to Prague and getting married and having your baby here. Not having you around has made me think. I never dreamt you'd be so resistant.
I just don't like you pretending to be so high and mighty and honest. The one who doesn't need therapy, when you're lying. I know you left Daddy. Maybe you had good reason, but I don't care.
Did you hear that?
Oh, isn't her baby talk cute?
That's no baby talk.
Well, the doctor said her ears will grow out normal.
Your child is speaking Sanskrit.
Nice non sequitur / absurdist subject change, Mother.
No, really.
Were you going to say something about Dad or not?
Listen, your father, where to start?
Start at the end.
There were a lot of things going on. He got religion in a bad way. Serious gree-gree. Then his hobby started up and he moved out to the swamp. The music, the crazy talk about sarcophagi.
Well, that's odd. Jan said something about a sarcophagus in New Orleans.
What?
Some Egyptian coffin was photographed in the bayou.
You must have heard him wrong. Well, I better go now.
Well, what's wrong? You just got here.
No, like you said.
Mama, what is it?
Nothing. Really, it's just that an Egyptian sarcophagus was one of the last antiques that your father was dealing with before he died. I don't know if you remember the last day you saw your father. Did you know it was 13 years ago this month?
13 years before, little Penelope and her mother were in the idyllic natural setting of a Louisiana swamp.
Calm down, Penny.
It's sunny in the swamp. Mama, I want to go watch Daddy sing.
No, stay here, Penny. Stay right on that log. I have to have a talk with your father.
Well, I'm a voodoo man, and I open my can of worms. They're snakes. I'm a voodoo man with my barrel full of monkeys. They're snakes. Problem with my coffin, the lozenges are dropping. Like snakes. Snakes eat in their own tails, vicious circle from hell. They're snakes, not worms. They're snakes, not little worms.
Bancroft, Masgraves.
Sadyaki Akasha, baby. That's Sanskrit. Jaruja Ananda, Jasundara Shava, baby. Sanskrit, not worms. They're snakes. They're snakes.
Bancroft, Masgraves.
Not little worms.
Bancroft, put down that guitar for a moment. If you don't talk to me this instant, I've had it. I'm not bringing up our daughter out in this swamp. She can't just change her life on some whim of yours. She just started classes at St. Expeditus. Her life is in New Orleans. And what about the business? Are you listening to me, Bancroft?
1, 2, 3, I'm a voodoo man, and I open the can of worms.
Never.
They're snakes.
Rosaries
I'm
are
a voodoo man with my barrel full of monkeys.
Cram.
They're snakes.
Something.
Problem with my coffin, the lozenges are
I'm warning
dropping. Like snakes.
No, that was
Snakes eat in their own tails, vicious circle from hell.
$45.
They're snakes, not worms. They're snakes,
Bancroft, I'm warning you.
not little worms.
My God, what's that strange light? Penelope! Penelope!
Mommy, what is it? I'm afraid.
Back in the present, Penelope and John are traveling by car on an important errand.
Calm down, you're going to crash us.
You wouldn't believe the story my mother told me. She's insane. We have to get her checked out.
But on the bright side, at least we have an instant babysitter all of a sudden. Your mother isn't seemingly so bad. I thought from what you said, you know.
What?
Well, I guess it's true that she didn't teach you better.
Some things can't be undone. Fragments scatter to the wind. Milk can't be unspilled.
We say in Czech, there are worse things. If your eggs are broken, then eat breakfast. What are you waiting for? There are worse mothers. There are some bad mothers. Oh yeah, let me tell you
Jan,
about...
you don't understand the situation, and you probably don't have the capacity to, so just don't assume you can judge it in any way.
I'm not saying anything, but I don't see... Look! Where exactly is this place?
It's the only Patrovini in Prague that carries crunchy puffs. Breakfast will be breakfast again.
We're heading out to the skirts of the city. It's making me nervous.
Everything makes you nervous. I guess the son of a Czech secret policeman.
Penelope, don't just blurt out such things.
I'm not. We're safe in the car. And I have a reason. My mother told me, one of the comparatively sane statements she made, that my father was doing something with a sarcophagus in New Orleans years ago.
I don't understand. How could you...
Is that the real way you got onto this? Did your father dig up some classified document? Is that why you got to know me?
My love, girl. I want to remind you that we met in Egyptology 101 class. Now you're sounding like your mother.
Don't ever... Oh, there it is! Bread, rollies, detergent, nice combination. Mineral water and hair dye. Ah, cereal! Where are they? They were right here with all these freakish granolas.
I'll ask them for you.
No, I want to. I have to practice. Pardon? Prosím vás, crunchy puffs? Kde jsou crunchy puffs?
Nemáme.
What do you mean, nemáme? They were right here.
Let me handle it.
There is birdseed in some of these cereals. Is this even people food? Is this the right aisle?
Penny, dear, they stopped the carrying of Crunchy Puffs.
Why?
She said it sold too well.
What do you mean?
Well, they got tired of restocking it onto the shelves, so they cancelled it.
What is wrong with you people? The 20th century is dead. Communism is dead.
Penny, don't!
What are you all trying to do? Force me back to New Orleans? I'm not going. I tell you, I'm not going. I'm not. Ah!
Penny, get up! What's wrong? Someone call an ambulance.
The atmosphere inside hospitals is not conducive to healthy recoveries and should be avoided by the physically or mentally ill. But that is where Penelope and her mother find themselves.
Where am I?
You're in a very modern hospital with a beautiful view of the river and a bridge. What do you remember?
I was in a store asking politely about some cereal. Then I woke up in an ambulance with some fat slob massaging my chest.
They want to keep you overnight for observation. The doctor said, well, I didn't really understand him. He said something about you having an allergic reaction to thinking.
Where's Jan?
He's with the baby. He's terribly worried, I think, but he doesn't show it. I mean, I don't know him, but he seems nice enough. Anyway, he's there arguing with the ambulance company. The ambulance got a flat tire.
These tubes are stuck into me everywhere. I mean, I've had tubular things in some of these places before, but most of them...
Penny, I want to use this chance to tell you more about your father.
And when are the visiting hours over?
Nurse! My daughter needs more sedation. Nurse!
All right, calm down. I'll try to listen. I'm feeling quite calm and wonderful, actually. What exactly is that IV bottle dripping into me?
Sometimes it takes a dangerous array of chemicals to find our true selves. Your father used potent plants and ingenious substances in his experiments with reality. Those were the good old days. We had the store, and you were a happy child. Then he got his thing about what he called souvenirs, from Nazi memorabilia to Easter Island relics to sarcophagi. Then the preaching started.
He looked like a giant behind that lectern.
That was okay. An active layman in a respectable church, until he got excommunicated for playing that music and invented his own religion out in the bayou and started talking about...
What?
He wasn't just talking about them. He was obsessed by these things. He mixed up an aromatic batch of voodoo, Sanskrit, some things you don't want to hear about, and mostly this sarcophagus.
What about it?
You were right, honey. I did leave your father. I left him over his mad talk of an Egyptian mummy in some New Orleans sluice.
Maybe you heard him wrong. Maybe he was talking about his Egyptian mammy in some New Orleans sleeves.
I couldn't take it anymore. Okay, I left him. And yes, I took you away from him. You've never forgiven me, and it's all coming out now that you've gone away. I mean, he was abandoning us, slowly, going out into the wild. And now you're abandoning me. I admit, I left him. But I tried to go back. I tried. And then I watched as he died in that strange...
Forest fire.
It wasn't a forest fire.
Spanish moss is very volatile.
Swamps don't catch fire, honey. I saw what happened.
I don't want to hear it.
Your daddy took me straight from home, straight from my father's arms, and he never gave me what he owed me. But I at least owe you the truth about the way he died.
You don't owe me anything, Mama. None of it was your fault. Daddy was just a voodoo con artist, a petty trafficker in art forgeries and phony antiques who left his 10-year-old daughter with nothing but a bad reputation to live down to. You don't owe me anything. You did your best. I love you, Mama.
Oh, Penny.
Come here.
Oops, careful. Let's not knock over that little bottle they got you connected to. Anyway, I'm glad you reconciled yourself with everything. But it wasn't the voodoo gree-gree that gave Bancroft his reputation. It was something extra. Extra.
Ordinary?
More.
Extrasensory?
More. Extra...
Extra what?
Terrestrial.
Mama, not again.
I tried to go back to him, out there in that shack in the swamps. Might as well have been yesterday, from the way I can remember it. Bancroft? Dan? Dan? Ouch! That damn nutria bit me. God damn it. Oh, there he is. Ben? What are you doing out there? Did you get those new oars? Ben? Can you hear me? Little Penny's asking about you. God, what the... That light! Ah! Where are you? Are you all right? Bancroft, Masgraves, where are you? They never found his body.
Mama?
I'm here, Penelope.
Would you open the window? The night air in Prague is so good for you. The river is still churning from the floods. It's a very soothing sound.
That's right. Just relax.
Mama?
Yes, dear.
Let me out of here!
Penelope, what? Come back! What is that strange light out there? My God, Penelope, get away from the window! Penelope!
Tragedy and heartbreak are all too common facts of life, just as solace and consolation are all too difficult cross-cultural endeavors.
I don't know if I could, Jan. I still can't believe any of this has happened.
Mrs. Masgraves, I don't want to push you. This must be a hard day's night for you. I'm also in the denial shock.
Call me Francine. I know you meant a lot to her, too. I didn't mean to imply anything.
Jan rhymes with An, not like Bjorn or Eon.
I just don't know if I'm up to jetting to New Orleans and helping explore the swamps with you, Jan.
Francine.
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 Francine. I once heard a certain saying or slogan in English that was very intelligent. I'm sorry if I can't remember it exactly. If Jack falls off the horse, he has to get directly back on it. Or you have to help Jack off the horse or something. Do you understand?
I know what you're trying to say. It's just, especially right now, so soon after Penelope. Oh, it would be a little more bearable if they just found her body. I keep thinking that maybe she survived and is walking around some wretched, zombie-eyed amnesiac.
The Vltava River is very unforgiving. Ever since the flooding. Do you know Kafka? Kafka said that Prague has claws, and the Vltava is a circulatorization, a system to circulate blood-pumping organ. How do you say it? It's the...
Prague is a heart with claws. Well, it certainly ripped out mine. All right, Jan, all right. I sure don't want to stay here. Do your ears pop when you're on a plane?
No, I'm listening to the classical music.
Look at those lakes down there.
I wonder if they are well stocked with fish.
But look at the shape. What does it remind you of?
The flood in Prague.
No, that one. Do you see how it looks like a devil alligator and it's ready to eat that defenseless umbrella?
Ah, I see it is peninsula.
Are all the waters connected? Even those around Prague?
My country is landlocked.
But the lakes and rivers, don't they flow to the ocean?
Oh, yes, eventually. From sea to shining sea, but very slowly.
So, the water flowing through Prague, sooner or later, reaches the Mississippi going through New Orleans and bleeds out to the swamps.
You should fasten your seatbelt at all times.
We'll have to quit pretty soon. The sun's almost down. I can't take much more.
I know the jet lag is horrible. Just a little longer.
It's not the jet lag.
Oh, yes, of course. Maybe we could all just stay in your ex-husband's shack for the overnight.
The swamp's not safe at night.
But we have alligator spotters.
You don't understand. These swamps. Marsh gas can affect your vision and your judgment and your... That's what happened to my husband out here, ending up a rock and roll hermit, sealing himself off from the world, retreating into esoterica and gilded gloom.
I know you're still in early morning. I am too, of course, but I throw myself into my work. This is why Penelope liked me.
Your Egyptology.
No, my missing emotions. See you, Czechs are of the northern peoples. Of course, on the map that is not true. We are in the middle of the Europe, not middle of the equator, I mean. But we look north. We feel the Norwegian and Scandinavian peoples. We aren't like the Spanish or Italians, hot blood, passionate dances, happy as a clam.
I've noticed you are very reserved. Like Germans.
Please, we have an aversion to Germans. No, we didn't hide our emotions. We try not to have them at all, in general.
But...
And Penelope was of the south type, but she wanted away. She had too much of the crazy life. So, she liked me. And I did my work. My plan was, someday, when I have enough money in the bank, then it will be possible to have emotions.
Oh, Jan, that's...
I'm sorry, something is... Just a minute!
It's okay. Go. Never thought the shack was still standing. Always imagined it obliterated. Now it's the only thing not obliterated. My Bancroft, my Penelope, my life. Oblivion.
oblivion, is a subjective concept, an indefinable quantity, an unimaginable place where anything is possible. Life after death, the future before the past, great fires traveling across the heavens.
Frog is a heart with claws.
I am not going to New Orleans.
I want to go watch Daddy.
These freakish granolas.
Don't just black out.
Where am I?
Penelope, come back! What is that strange light up there?
Happy as a clam.
Who that? Some nerdy guy. Sarcophagus.
What do you think it is?
Mardi Gras beads.
Sweet.
Breakfast. I hate it. Don't ever. Practice. Voodoo, con artist.
The golem, swimming around.
In the Great Pyramid.
Extra what?
Extra communicated. Gree.
You speak English perfectly. It's a very soothing sound. Where are you at?
I am going insane.
Something about the fat or not.
Mummy. Full of mummy.
Satyaki Akasha.
I can translate. Only the pyramids cared enough to shed their secrets, like snakeskin water running in rivulets down their sides. Rivulets running together like dogs, like mohawked poodles, packing in the nighttime streets of the city, returning their fangs to the fresh kill, though by the rays of the sunrise, they whine to be petted. A whining sound over our heads. We see out of our eyes beaming vision in projections. Not of punk anubis in flight, but of rays guiding our craft through the short-term cosmos until we reach the end of our wits and calm down and land and say we should have been more fatherly, motherly all along, even when we were children. When the parents act like children, the children parent. And no unleavened bread is left over to crumble over the salamanders that fled when the swamp turned into desert. I dried up, and blue rays were recorded on burial chamber walls, depicting the canceling of slavery and the reconstruction of landlocked icebergs denoted glaciers.
The unidentified flaming chariots were not worth a single bowl of ice cream of the shady port of a shack swamp, where the only guided missiles are crocodiles, easing over to a clueless duck turning over and over a spinning galaxy in peril. Penelope!
My God, what is that light up there?
What is that light down there? Is that Earth? Where am I?
Though the streets of New Orleans are solid underneath the feet of the motley inhabitants, the reality of their mutual experience is amorphous and indistinct. During the carnival season of Mardi Gras, every action has as many equal and opposite reactions as there are revelers in a street parade. Somehow, this setting has produced the return of someone thought lost.
Ma'am,
Yes, officer?
you can't... That bottle you're dragging along, if it breaks, that looks like some kind of intravenous fluid.
You speak English perfectly, officer.
Is that a Yankee wisecrack? And is that a hospital frock?
My father was defrocked, and I wear his frock of shame as I wander the world, even here, under these beautiful French balconies. Still, this isn't Paris, is it, Monsieur Gendarme?
You're in the French Quarter, ma'am, and you definitely belong here.
The Quarter takes care of its characters.
So you're a local after all.
Within the context of the South, Yankee is a term describing Northeastern Americans. Fortunately, between them and us are large, unnavigatable swamplands full of impossible murkiness, slithering reptiles, and man-eating giant clams. Yes, the swamps. That's what I'm after.
Penelope's mother, still swamp-embedded, has no inkling.
I never could have conceived of such hard-working, naive anthropologists. And from the heart with claws, come all the way here to an outer New Orleans swamp. New Orleans doesn't rip your heart out at all. It just smothers your heart in butter, music, jambalaya, powdered sugar, and loss. So you take a break out in nature. Nature finishes you off. Gives your mind a chance to decay in step with the rest of your body. Slow, but certain. Is your body decayed now, Penelope? Is it down in the water, stuck under some bridge, or washed out into the sea? Was it a better way to go, all of a sudden? Is your body going to fragment and flow back home, eventually, back to New Orleans? Don't cry, babykins. Baby doesn't like swamp. Don't worry. Crocodiles won't eat you. No, they won't. There's someone in this shack. What do they think they're doing? Oh, God, my sanity really is fragmenting. I thought I saw Penelope. My God, I see Penelope. Jan, come here. I'm going insane.
What?
I said, come over here. I am going insane.
Mama?
Penelope? Is it really?
Mama!
Come here. They never found your body.
I never lost it.
I don't understand. How did you get here?
I walked. Like I was sleepwalking into Daddy's old shack. Then a damn nutria bit me and I heard some people over here and...
Francine, come here. We found it. We found a... Penelope? What? I don't understand. It's not possible. Penelope, my life.
Jan, you get so emotional.
Everybody, look, we found it. It is authenticated sarcophagus for the Ramses period. Probably fell off some steamboat in the 19th centuries when Egyptian collections were so popular here. And look, the colors aren't faded even. The silt of the swamp must... Penelope, I can't believe it. How is it possible you've got here?
I came to open that blasted sarcophagus.
Oh, you can't open it. That's strange. The top, it's not a normal. It seems hermetically sealed.
Move out of my way!
Stop! You're going to...
It's perfectly preserved. The swamp water didn't get in.
This is a major discovery. No, Mommy.
Daddy!
Get away from it. Don't hug it.
Did it move?
Daddy!
Jara Juja Ananda, Sundara Shava, baby.
Stand back. I can translate.
Look, up in the sky. What kind of lighting is that? It's coming towards.
Bancroft, Masgraves! Is that you?
1, 2, 3, I'm a voodoo man, and I open the can of worms. They're snakes.
Jan rhymes with An. I'm the son-in-law.
I'm a voodoo man with my barrel full of monkeys. They're snakes. Problem with my coffee and the lozenges are dropping. Like snakes.
to New Orleans Via UFO. Brought to you by the Black Mummy Players. Starring Jaromír Lelek as Jan, Gwendolyn Albert as Penelope, Stephanie Brush as Francine, Marc Cram as Bancroft Masgraves, Vincent Farnsworth as the American guy and the policeman. Written and produced by Vincent Farnsworth.